This is the Navajo Churro that was in the spinning box for December, but check. Oh my gosh, if you love dual coats, this is a coarse grade, pretty coarse actually, and then you have that softer undercoat. If I can get to it, there it is. It has a fair amount of VM in it, but I'm going to leave the VM in it because we're going to comb it anyway and it will take it all out. Also, combing will separate these coats. That is just amazing, right? Can you imagine the sheep? It's pretty cool. Okay, I'm gonna be scouring in a strucket. This is the strainer part. Now it's about that full. It's about a third full. I don't wanna put the wool up to the top because we need a lot of water for the lanolin to disperse in the soap and hold it in here so we can whisk it away, right? So here is the bucket part. Let's bring that a little closer. And I'm gonna add some soap to it. It's already a little brown because I dropped a piece of fiber in it and it got dirty, so hang on, let me go grab some soap. Today we're gonna be using Unicorn Power Scour. Some soap in there. All right, now what's really cool about this strucket is it has this basket that we just submerge in the bucket part. And then I'm going to just push down the fiber gently. Oh my gosh, look how dirty that already is. Okay, I'm gonna leave that be for about maybe 15 minutes and then I'm gonna come back and drain it. I may need to scour this twice because there is a fair amount of lanolin in this, but we shall see when we rinse it. Okay, I'll be back in just a little bit. Okay, 15 minutes is up, but here's the cool part about this strucket. I'm just gonna lift up the strainer and watch. It strains out the wool. I don't have to fuss with it or maybe potentially felt it. Some of the wool will come through these little holes, but once I put it back in the drain water, they'll just go right back in. That is my first wash. You know what? I think I might scour this one more time. And then when I come back to rinse it, I'm gonna show you putting it in the rinse bucket, but look at how dirty that is. Okay, I'm gonna take this outside and dump it outside. I don't wanna put the lanolin filled water in my drain, and I'll come back in a little bit. Okay, I just wanted to show you real quick. Oh, I'm glad I washed this twice. Look how dirty that still is. This is super dusty, but you have to remember where these sheep live. And I'm already seeing some lanolin at the top, so I'm glad I washed it twice. Okay, we're ready for the rinsing after 2 washes. This is really dusty. There was so much dirt in the bottom of that strucket. So that, look at that. This is so dirty. You can see the dirt at the bottom of the bucket. Okay, so here we go into the rinse water. And it's still pretty dusty. This is not lanolin, this is dust, just dirt. Because the water is sort of not clear, I'm gonna be rinsing this again. I might rinse it 3 times. We'll see how long it takes to get this water clear. We want that water clear, but see the VM in there? Oh, I'm gonna get that out, don't you worry. Okay, here it is all washed up. Look at all the vegetable matter in there. That'll come out a little bit later. But I wanted to show you how to separate the coats by hand in case it's something you wanted to try. I don't really do it that way because it takes forever. But anyway, so I'm going to pull a lock and this is the outer coat. See how thick those hairs are? This is the inner coat. The micron is smaller, it's a little bit fluffier. Sometimes you may see crimp. I don't see much crimp, maybe a little bit in that one. Okay, you're gonna grasp the bottom of the inner coat, the tip of the outer coat, and you're just gonna give a little tug. But then you're gonna bring your hands down and pull, bring your hands down and pull. And that way we are ensuring that you get all the outer coat fibers. There you go. And there's the inner coat. So I might drum card this because this is pretty soft. And this would be nice for a weaving warp. This is really strong, very thick fibers, strong as nails. This is really strong. Let's separate the coats with combs. These are my wool and woodwork combs. Aren't those pretty? I picked out that piece of wood. I just love it. So on the inside is a little padded section. This is where your comb sits. It sits this way. So let me move my camera so you can see that. So I'm going to bring that to the edge of the table, and then you flip it over. And then you attach it to the edge of the table with these. I use these combs for everything. I use it for fine grade, I use it for coarse, I use it for everything. All right, so I'm gonna grab a staple and I'm going to put it on the combs with the cut end on the comb and the outer layers out here. So let's load the comb. That's a little cotted back there. So we shall see. We shall see how that turns out. All right, so let's go ahead and get combing. Because of the cotting, we're gonna see some stuck in the combs because it's not coming through very well, but I'm gonna give it a little bit of a wiggle and see if we can't get it to come out. There's our waist, there's our first pass, and now we're gonna do our second pass. So I bring the fiber up just a little bit so it doesn't get bound down in the bottom of that comb. And again, give it a little bit of a wiggle. Watch your hands on those tines, they're very sharp. Okay, so we are set here. Now what I'm seeing is I'm seeing the outer coat here and the inner coat here. You can see the difference in color. Let me get my Diz and let's Diz it off and see what happens. All right, I'm gonna use my wooden Diz made by Jim Ector. And this is a little threader that I need to thread the fiber through on the Diz. I'm going to put the concave side towards the combs because it's gonna funnel into the Diz. I'm gonna use the big hole. So I put my threader through the big hole. I put this through the wire part of the threader, and then I pull it through the hole on the Diz. Now I start to Diz. Now be conscious of the staple length. You don't want to draft further than the staple of the fiber. But what do you notice? You notice only the outer coat coming out first, right? This is the same with Icelandic. Now, if you want to take out guard hairs from cashmere, this does not work, unfortunately. You have to use other means to do that. Okay, I'm gonna pull this up just a little bit. Now that undercoat is pretty short, so, and my table's moving because it's on wheels. Make sure you're using a short draft because those fibers are short. the fiber. Okay. Okay, there we go. So look, there's your inner layer and there's your outer layer. So it separates the layers. Let me set this on the table and I'll show you. You can see it a little bit better. There's the outer coat and there's the inner coat. So isn't that fun? So that's super soft. This is super coarse. I could just break it apart and maybe I could drum card this or spin it. I could do whatever I want, but that's how you separate the coats on a Navajo Churro dual coat of fleece. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate you and I will see you soon.